Hey there, eggheads. Hope you're doing well wherever you are today. Let's get right down to it. We live in the age of digital communication. You know that? I know that? Great. So what? Well, in a post-coronavirus world, it has become super important to be able to maintain functionality while maintaining distance if need be. Remote communication, remote video, and not just for family and friends, but for work. I don't know when you're watching this video, but right now, it's June 2020. We're in the middle of the outbreak when so many companies are realizing how much work can be done from home. So let me ask you, is your home set up for professional video conferencing? If the answer is, well, yes, Kenan, my laptop has a built-in webcam, or I use my phone. Well, I hate to break it to you, but that's probably not good enough. You see, I have a 2018 MacBook Pro, touch bar and everything. I mean, this thing is fully stacked and upgraded, but the internal webcam, it's total crap. And every Macintosh laptop is the same. PC laptop's the same. The internal cameras are usually just 720p and pretty terrible in low light. Well, why is that? Well, if you think about it, they have to physically cram a tiny camera into the lid, very thin lid of a laptop. You can't get a lot of functionality when it has to be that small. All right, but what about the phone? Okay, well, professional video conferencing with a phone is difficult for a few reasons. Number one, the screen is super tiny. Okay, so if I'm here video conferencing, and if I have a colleague who wants to share their screen, right, if they share an Excel doc or a PowerPoint presentation, it's gonna be hard for me to see. I have to move my face, my either face gets bigger from their point of view, I have to zoom in. It's not convenient. The phones might have high definition cameras, right? iPhones, Google phones, Android phones, they're all high def, but the field of view is so tiny. So if you yourself have to share something, share a file, share a screen, if you have to write something on a whiteboard behind you, it's gonna be really inconvenient. And of course, what if life gets in the way? In the middle of a conference, you receive a text or have to send a text. Well, that means you have to, you're already using your phone. You have to minimize the conference. The other people might see the rolls of your neck while you're texting. It's not gonna be flattering for anybody. If you have a dedicated, high definition web camera for video conferencing, you're gonna allow yourself the freedom to be seen properly, to be heard properly, and the freedom to use your phone if you need to. So without further ado, let's check out the product. It is a high definition 1080p dedicated web camera. All right, let's look inside the box. We open the tightly packed box. We have a simple instruction guide and then the webcam itself. Imagine that, very simple. The webcam has a connector that is USB compatible with either Mac or PC, so whichever computer you have, this is going to work. And then there is a nifty adjustable clip, which allows you to connect it to virtually any computer monitor, any surface you want. And I'm gonna ask one of our nifty cameramen to follow me as I demonstrate it right here. All right, so first I'll take the adjustable clip and, well, look at that. It took about 2 seconds, it's already on my monitor. Now I will use the USB connector to plug it into my computer. Okay, that is in. And now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, look at that. Within 7 seconds, we have video. Check it out. Perfect. Hello, hello. Check it out. Within 7 seconds, I've attached it, connected it to the computer. It got the drivers turned on. We're ready to video conference. Look at that. Hello, recording the screen. In just 7 seconds, 7 seconds, we have high definition dedicated webcam. Bam. Another great feature about this webcam is the built-in noise reduction. That's right. Your voice can be heard super clearly up to 10 meters. That's 30 feet. So you can get up, go to the kitchen, brew some coffee, get some chores done, while still being heard very clearly in your video chats. Although I don't recommend doing chores during a professional video conference. The important thing is you don't have to kiss the camera anymore just to be heard. Although, yes, you could still kiss the camera if you want to give a kiss, but that's, again, maybe none of my business. One of the best reasons to have a dedicated camera for web conferencing is the color is better. With this, you'll have automatic color balancing. It's going to look much better in low light conditions than any laptop, built-in camera, or phone camera. All right, don't be left in the dark during your video conferences. Allow yourself the freedom to be seen clearly, even in low light conditions. All right, so a simple recap. We have the nice nifty adjustable clip. This is going to fit on any computer screen. All right, it's got HD 1920 by 1080 resolution. That's high definition, 1080p, 1 million pixels. It's got automatic color balancing, noise reduction. Allow yourself the freedom to be able to use your phone during a web conference. Now, allow yourself to look more attractive with the automatic color balancing. If you run a business or you know someone who runs a business, they might need a camera to help monitor a storefront or a counter. This could make a great investment or a great gift for someone else. See the world clearly and let the world see you for who you are. This has been Newegg Now, and now you know. Hello, eggheads, and today I need your help solving a very important case. That is a computer case. Come on, guys, who writes this stuff?
You did.
Touché. Well, moving on. I know you or someone you know out there likes to custom build their PCs. In that way, I'm very similar. And I always know what kind of motherboard I want, how much RAM, what kind of hard drive I want. But then I hit this philosophical conundrum. What should it look like, right? What kind of case do I want? Well, today I have a really awesome option. It is the darkFlash DLM21 white micro ATX mini tower. Now, before we look at this case, I want to remind you that yes, a computer case hopefully looks really cool. But the important question to ask ourselves when shopping for a case is, does this case fit the specifications I need for my machine, right? Will all of my components fit? Are there enough SDD slots, HDD slots? Is there enough space for a cooling system? Do I need a cooling system? Is the motherboard I want even compatible? All right, so while we hold these questions in our mind, let's take a look inside the case. The first thing I notice about this pretty cool case is how the door opens. Check this out. It has an opening side panel with a magnetic design. All right, look at that. It opens super easily, no tools required, very easy to disassemble the parts. I must say, you can't feel it from there, but it is a little mesmerizing to be able to have a computer that opens this way. All right, that is just very cool. I could probably do this all day. Of course, with the glass panel, you'll reveal whatever cool light show you have on the inside in a kind of low-key, understated way, show off the nice components you have in there. And of course, this panel is tempered glass, okay, which means it has been processed through special chemical treatments to increase the strength compared with standard glass. We'll notice that the front panel has a low poly design, which is kind of a cool term in 3D gaming, which just means a low number of polygons. I think I remember a Pokemon that was made out of polygons, but that's something for another time. It kind of says, I'm cool, without really screaming it. And on the top, we have our important buttons. We've got our power button, our reset button. We have two USB 2.0 ports. We have one USB 3.0 port, and then we have two high-definition audio ports. The entire case is made up of SPCC steel, which, well, SPCC steel is simply commercial-grade, cold-rolled steel. So, nice and sturdy. The case does feature an air inlet design, which helps maximize ventilation. With a mini case, we're even more concerned about possible overheating because our internal components are going to be closer together. So if we're running high-intensity programs like high-res games, if you're editing movies, especially in 4K, or just running a lot of programs at once, we want to be careful of that. We want to make sure we have possibly water cooling. This does support CPU cooling, but at a maximum height of 165 millimeters. The maximum video card length is 330 millimeters. So please check your specs. I can't say that enough. Check the specs beforehand. I don't want anyone out there buying a bunch of parts, trying to put them together, and then realizing, uh-oh, something doesn't fit, right? Okay, the case weighs about 11 pounds. The inside has two 3.5 drive bays, one 2.5 drive bay, and 4 expansion slots. You're gonna get great cable management out of this case. Again, your components are super easy to access with this very slick tempered glass side panel. Check that out. Again, I just hope everyone out there can feel what I'm feeling when I do that. That is just so cool. All right, so if you only have a few internal drives, if your graphics card will fit, this is definitely a case that I can highly recommend, especially if you want to go the CPU liquid cooling route. I've seen standard metal cases go for this price without the slick tempered glass side panel, without the cool paint job, without the consideration for airflow. So I think it's safe to say that we have solved today's case. This has been Newegg Now, and now you know. Hey there, eggheads, and what type of special golden egg do you think I have for you this time? Does that not work for you guys, or? We just cut that, right? Nope, keep rolling. Okay. Well, speaking of feeling super cool, how do you all keep your computer systems cool? If you're like me, you like high performance. We want to watch HD movies, maybe even 3D. We want to play high-res games, but with low ping. And we want all of this while our computer systems look cool and stay nice and quiet. Well, enter the darkFlash Aurora DR12 Pro 3-in-1 RGB LED Fan Kit. Without wasting any time, let's look inside the box. You'll notice here that the box has a tiny tear on it. That's because I tested the product and I was not a good boy when I put it back together. But, you know, at least you can trust my review a little more. Okay, so inside the box, let's see what we have. First, we'll start with the controller. Using this remote controller, we can control the fan speed and the color of the fans. You can also use the controller to switch to motherboard sync, which we'll talk about later. We also have the new and improved controller box. Now with this controller box, we have 3 different buttons. You can change the light speed, light mode, and the fan speed. With this controller box, we can connect up to 8 fans and 2 LED strips. So that's really great. Let's take a look at the fans themselves. We have 3 identical, smooth, sleek fans. The size of the fans, 120 by 120 by 25 millimeters. They have 7 blades, all black in color. This many blades allows for high density airflow. And of course, the fans are identical, so you're going to get uniform air supply. The max speed of the fans, 1200 RPM. That's really fast. Check it out. Both sides of the fan have an LED light, okay, dual halo design, maximizes the radiation path of the light as light travels radially, and the corners of the fan have anti-vibration pads. All right, check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4 anti-vibration pads on each of the fans. That's gonna keep them nice and quiet inside the system. If you're an audiophile, you'll like to know that the maximum volume of these fans, just 16 decibels. That's great. And the fans have a hydraulic bearing, keeping the rotation nice and smooth, which means a longer life for your product. Longer life means better bang for your buck. All right, what are you waiting for? It's time to plug it in. All right, let's talk about the magic of motherboard sync. We all want our color show to be well synchronized, right? We all want it to be synonymous with, in the same league as a Philharmonic classical orchestral performance, or a well-choreographed 4th of July fireworks show, as opposed to the kind of epileptic surprise you get in Amsterdam when your friend Ricky says that what you're about to drink is a normal margarita. Ricky, if you're watching this, that wasn't cool, but I would do it again. Perhaps nothing beats looking cool more than actually staying cool while looking cool too. Accomplish that with the darkFlash Aurora DR12 Pro 3-in-1 RGB Fan Kit. 3 double-ringed motherboard sync compatible blades. They have hydraulic bearings, each delivering 1200 RPM of reliable, steady airflow to keep your system feeling cool in every sense of the word. This will be great for you if you're a gamer or live streamer who wants to add some flair to the setup, or it'll make a great gift for someone else that you know. This has been Newegg Now, and now you know. Hey there, eggheads, and welcome back to our product exploration zone. I have another computer case for you here. If you haven't checked out our other computer case videos, let me bring you up to speed. A computer case should look cool. Yes, a computer case should impress everyone who dares to look its direction. Yes, but it needs to get the job done. And that, of course, depends on what you're doing. So let's take a look at this case and see if it's right for you. This is the Segotep Phoenix computer gaming case. So what do we have here? First, we have a 0.8mm thick SPCC plated case. SPCC is commercial quality cold rolled steel. Here we have a 0.4mm tempered glass side panel. Tempered glass, of course, means it has passed through special chemical processes, makes it stronger and more durable than normal glass. When we have this kind of side panel, of course, it's better and easier for us to inspect our internal hardware, show off our internal hardware. You can maybe put on a little light show. Maybe you can intimidate the other gamers at a LAN party. Yeah, I mean, well, more mature than that, right? Anyway, moving on. On the top of the case, we have a power on and off button, a reset switch. We have two USB 2.0 ports, one USB 3.0 port, a USB-C port. That's pretty awesome. Modern, and two high-definition audio ports, one in and one out. All right, so far, so good. Let's look at the front. You'll notice on the front, that's not a paint job. All right, that is an LED lighting panel. That's right, so the case has an RGB LED light strip in the front panel. All right, and it doesn't stop there. Check this out. It even has removable dust filters. Okay, that's crazy. It has one behind the front panel, and there's actually another on the bottom. Okay, that is pretty good. I was really surprised when I saw that. In fact, before I saw this Segotep Phoenix case, I didn't even know that that functionality existed, right? So dust particles are the id of impurity. Right? And if dust particles land on our hardware, that can cause hardware to malfunction. It decreases the lifetime of our hardware. So obviously having removable dust filters adds lifetime to your hardware, which, you guessed it, adds value to the case. All right, so what about the motherboard compatibility? Well, this case supports ATX, MATX, and ITX motherboards. So if you have either one of those three, you will be good to go. Another cool feature about the case is the vertical card installation. All right, so users can vertically mount graphics cards or PCI Express cards. If you think about it, this is honestly really different from the horizontal mounting of traditional cases and motherboards. All right, this is going to protect against product deformation, adding lifetime to the system, and therefore adding value to the case. All right, it doesn't stop there. Look at the fans. At the front of the case, we can install 3 fans to help intake air, and in the back, install 2 fans for the exhaust. All right, so we have great level of airflow here, which again is going to protect against overheating. Again, adding lifetime to your system and therefore adding value to the case. As far as I'm concerned, this case is super builder friendly. All right, you can add a 323mm graphics card. You can use a 167mm CPU cooling system. Let's sum up the other features. All in all, you have 2 HDD drive bays. This is ATX, MATX, ITX motherboard compatible. You've got solid construction, tempered glass. All right, so if you're not running super data heavy processes, I might say you could give this a pass. But if you or anyone you know is running data-heavy processes, or if you're concerned about the safety of your equipment, I would highly consider this case. All right, with the ability to have vertical card installation, we have the removable dust filters, the ability to add the CPU cooling systems. All right, all of these features are adding safety to your system, adding lifetime to the components inside. And anytime we can add life to our system, that adds value. With a setup like this, you can add 1 or 2 more years of lifetime to your setup. And if you can just do that for a few months, the case basically pays for itself. So that is the Segotep Phoenix computer gaming case. This has been Newegg Now, and now you know.